Close sports bulls. From Atlanta, Trista Crick breaks down the three biggest keys to the college football playoff title game and gives her prediction. USA Today Sports. Georgia's Michael Hardman scores a touchdown during the second quarter against Alabama. Photo: Kevin C. Cox. Getty Images. Georgia 13, Alabama 0. 10:51 left in third quarter. Coming out of the locker room, Alabama tried to shake things up by switching to true freshman Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback. Unfortunately, the series looked a lot like the ones in the first half. Tagovailoa was sacked on third down. The Crimson Tide were forced to punt on the first possession of the third quarter. Bulldogs cap off outstanding first half. A Michael Hardman run for a touchdown with 7 seconds left in the half has given Georgia a 13-0 lead on Alabama. The 70-yard drive was keyed by big throws by Jake Fromm and another clutch third down run by Sony Michel. The Bulldogs simply dominated the first half by wearing down the Crimson Tide with its efficient offense. The long drives have kept the ball away from the struggling Alabama offense as well. Something is going to have changed with Jalen Hurts just 3 for 8 for 21 yards throwing. The Alabama running backs have just 27 yards rushing. Georgia holds a 223-94 yard advantage and 47-24 edge in plays. Alabama hanging in there. Alabama offense still sputtering. With just more than 2 minutes left in the first half, the Tide only have managed 88 yards and no points. Jalen Hurts has thrown for 17 yards on 2 of 6 passing. That said, they're only down 6 and have the ball back. Georgia extends lead. Jake Fromm has been the difference in the first third of the national championship game. He converted a couple of big third down throws to extend the latest drive by the Bulldogs. It's the second long drive for a field goal as Georgia has controlled the action in the early going. Alabama defense, to its credit, stiffened with the ball first and goal at the 10. Bulldogs have started to wear them down, however, with a 32-16 advantage in plays. Big possession upcoming for Crimson Tide after consecutive 3-and-outs. Georgia on the board first. After an Alabama 3-and-out, Georgia finally got to its running game and earned a couple first downs. Then came the biggest play of the opening quarter as Sony Michel ran for 26 yards on 3rd and 20. To keep the drive alive after a sack on Jake Fromm, the first quarter ended with game scoreless and Georgia on the Alabama 27 with a 3rd and 11. The Bulldogs went conservative and ran the ball. After coming up short, Rodrigo Blankenship converted a 41-yard field goal. Here's Sony Michel tap dancing down the sideline pick. Twitter.com, KRDOZGQ5Y and Nick at Nick_Pants. January 9, 2018. Bulldogs come out throwing. On each of its 7 offensive plays, Georgia has thrown the ball, neglecting handoffs. Nick Chubb and Sony Michel hasn't been effective so far. Bulldogs were forced to punt after 1 first down on its second possession. Georgia running back Nick Chubb runs the ball after catching a pass against Alabama. Photo: Jason Getz. USA Today Sports. Georgia defense gets key stop. The Crimson Tide took advantage of their interception by moving into field goal range, helped by some key runs by quarterback Jalen Hurts. But after a false start penalty pushed his attempt back, Andy Pappanastos missed his 40-yard try wide left. Still scoreless in Atlanta. First chance for Georgia. First turnover to Alabama. Alabama won the coin toss and deferred its decision to the second half. Georgia gets the ball first from its 25 after the opening kickoff. On third down, Javon Wims and Tony Brown battled for an underthrown ball, and Brown, the Crimson Tide defensive back, won possession for an interception in the scramble. Bama takes over at its 36. Bulldogs quarterback Jake Fromm was hit on the throw due to Alabama pressure. President in the House. President Donald Trump arrived at the national championship game as expected Monday night, walking about 7 minutes before kickoff, and standing with military members for the national anthem. Trump was mostly cheered when he walked out of the tunnel. The conclusion of the anthem was loudly booed. Former Georgia All-American Herschel Walker, the 1982 Heisman winner and an honorary Bulldog captain for the title game, told Fox News earlier Monday, "I'm glad he's at the game, because he loves football. It's sad what's happened with all the kneeling and standing and all that. Because Donald Trump is a great man. He's a great president and I wish people could understand that." Quote, Walker and Trump have been longtime friends. Lindsey Schnell. The president walks onto the field to cheers from the crowd. Pic. Twitter. PH300XTP6F Paul Meyerberg. At Paul Meyerberg. January 9, 2018. Late arriving crowd at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Attendees are reporting long lines due to security. About 30 minutes before kickoff, it seems some people might be late getting to their seats if things keep moving so slowly. President Trump going live. The president might be doing more than just attend Monday night's national championship game. Alabama radio play-by-play announcer Eli Gold says he has been told that President Trump will be on the Alabama radio network during the college football playoff national championship game between the Crimson Tide and Georgia. Gold says network officials reached out to the White House through the Alabama governor's office last week to request an interview with the president and heard back in the last day or so that Trump agreed to come. A view of the Georgia Marching Band pre-game show before the college football playoff championship game between Alabama and Georgia. Photo. Kirby Lee. USA Today Sports. The first college football playoff with two teams from the same conference will also feature the championships game between two schools from the same league. The All-SEC showdown between Alabama, which is aiming for its fifth national title in 9 seasons, and Georgia, which won its last championship in 1980, will appropriately be held in Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The regional nature of the showdown has driven up prices for the game, with the lowest being in the neighborhood of $2,000. Kickoff is set for approximately 8:15 p.m. ET. It will be televised on ESPN with Chris Fowler handling play-by-play duties and Kirk Herbstreit doing color commentary. Game preview. Position edges. Breaking down the matchup between Alabama and Georgia. Alabama keys. 4 things the Crimson Tide must do to win. Georgia keys. 4 things the Bulldogs must do to win. Rapid rise. In title game. Georgia right where it expected to be. True team. Alabama void of superstars truly shows Saban's process. Images from the college football championship game. Contributing. The Associated Press.